Good morning Year 6 and welcome to our English lesson for the day. Now, I'm going to have to keep looking down this way so I can see what actually slides I'm showing. So, as it says, we are looking today at using formal and informal dialogue within speech. So, we did a lesson similar to this a couple of weeks ago when we looked at Dorothy and the Scarecrow having a chat. And we talked about how Dorothy would speak in quite a formal way, whereas the Scarecrow would probably speak in quite an informal way. So we're going to be looking at a lot of the similar stuff, but then you're going to be writing a section based on Dorothy meeting your character, so the character that you came up with last week. Now, on the off chance that you weren't in last week when we did this, what we did is we came up with a character and an extra character that Dorothy would meet. So if you want to come up with those ideas today, obviously lots of you have already got those ideas, which is great. So we're writing a part that's going to be part of our story. So what can we use to make a great paragraph with speech, action and description? Hopefully you are all shouting at your screens now, a speech burger or a speech sandwich. And so I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just reminding you about how we can use those. So here is an example of what a speech burger might look like. So we've got our top piece of bread and our bottom piece of bread, and they are the two characters saying something. I know this is the example that I've used really before. So one character, Liam, is saying, "Look at that strange cloud," said Liam. And then the other character, in this case, Asma, is saying, I don't think that's a cloud, it's a spaceship," she replied. Now those two are okay, and it's just got two bits of speech, but in Year 6 we're looking to create that balance of speech, action and description. So we're going to add some filling. So our first bit of filling, which might be the cheese or the salad, is when Liam says something, he's then going to do something. So we've got Liam saying, "You couldn't help but stare towards the sky." And then our second filling, in this case the chicken, is where our second character does something. So Asma opened her mouth in astonishment. Now something else that we talked about is when you have a burger, often I like to have some chips with it, and those chips are going to be our description. And they can go at the start, at the end, or partway through the middle. I like to have a bit of chips throughout the meal, but I'm going to put it at the start here. And in this sentence, it says, "The sky, which was once a clear blue, suddenly turned dark and there was a loud humming above their heads." So we've got the chips, which is the description. We have got the bread, which is the characters saying something, and then we've got the filling, which is the characters doing something. We've got our speech, our action and description. And when we put it all together, it looks like this. "The sky, which was once a clear blue, suddenly turned dark and there was a loud humming from above their heads. Look at that strange cloud," said Liam. He couldn't help but stare towards the sky. Asma opened her mouth in astonishment. I don't think that's a cloud, it's a spaceship," she replied. There we've got a paragraph that's got a good balance of speech, action and description. Now today, we are going to be, like I said, doing your character and a chat with Dorothy, but just as an example, I'm going to do a conversation between the lion and Dorothy. And in this case, I'm going to make Dorothy speak in quite a formal way, but I'm going to make the lion speak in quite an informal way. Okay, so to do that, I am going to now flip the camera around so that you can see what I'm writing on my page. Okay, here we go. Okay, so our success criteria is going to appear here now. So the things that I'm looking for as I write is I'm going to decide which character will use formal language and which will use not. So I've decided that Dorothy's going to be formal, my other character's not. I'm going to ensure use of better vocabulary for the formal speaker. I'm going to use apostrophes for contraction, informal but not informal. I'm going to use a speech burger to create a good balance of action and dialogue and description. I'm going to use inverted commas correctly, and I'm going to use commas, question marks and exclamation marks and full stops at the end of sentences. So, the lion is walking on the road with Dorothy. So I'm going to start with some description, just zoom in a little bit. Okay. On either side of the road, the trees almost completely blocked out any sunlight. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit about what could be heard. The bird song, comma, which had made the day quite pleasant. Comma, had disappeared. So that all could be, so all that could be heard was the occasional rustle of branches. Okay, got in some description there now. That hopefully explains a little bit about where they are and what's going on. So now I need to get into some speech. So my first character, who's going to be the lion, is going to say something. So the lion is going to say, and remember the lion in this one's quite informal. Oh, I really don't like this. I really don't like this. I want to go back. Okay, and to make it a bit more, I want to go back. Whimpered, so inverted commas. Whimpered the lion. Now I've made it informal because this really is quite informal. I've used contracted words like don't, and I've not gone for any complicated vocabulary. Whimpered the lion. Now the lion, because I'm in a speech burger, so he said something, he's now going to do something. He grabbed hold of Dorothy's hand. And now Dorothy's going to do something. So Dorothy calmly puts her arm around the lion. And now Dorothy's going to say something, but I'm going to make it quite formal. So open inverted comma. Try not to worry, my friend. Full stop. We will be out of these woods very shortly. We'll be out of these woods shortly. Comma, because I always need some punctuation before my inverted comma. She explained. Okay, and now let's read that, put it all together and see what it sounds like. So we've got, on either side of the road, the trees almost completely blocked out any sunlight. The birdsong, which had made the day quite pleasant, had disappeared so that all could be heard was the occasional rustle of branches. Oh, I really don't like this. I want to go back, whimpered the lion. He grabbed hold of Dorothy's hand. Dorothy calmly put her arm around the lion. I'm going to actually change that to him. We don't need to say it's a lion, we know who it is. Try not to worry, my friend. We will be out of these woods shortly, she explained. Okay. Now I think success criteria wise, I think I've done a pretty good job of summarising it. Now for your one, I mean, I've only been writing for 5 minutes. I'd like you to kind of do another speech paragraph that kind of continues with the story. But let's just finish off the lesson and come back together. Okay, so hopefully that gives you enough information for what you need to do. So like I've said, use my example as a way of doing it. I do want you to write a little bit more than what I did because we should be doing 45 minutes on this lesson. This video has been, I don't know, 10 minutes-ish. So 10 minutes watching the video and then a good half an hour writing. And yeah, try and include this success criteria. Okay, so year 6, work hard. I'm looking forward to seeing this work. And yeah, let's do some great writing. Goodbye.